Hello everyone, this is the Humble Gamer, and welcome to the Yooka-Laylee Toybox Plus. Bzz. What was that noise? Step close, move with the stick and jump with A. Well, with that, we begin this post-commentary. So, let me just turn my mic down. There we go. I'll turn it back up when I'm finished with this. But this is it, guys. This is the Yooka-Laylee Toybox. It is finally here, performing for you. No, well, actually, it's quite relevant to make a Donkey Kong joke, considering that this is essentially consisting of some of the same team members. But yeah, this is the toy box, and it came out yesterday, the 28th of July, 2016. It's the 29th today. I am post-commentating this right now, in case you haven't already guessed, because otherwise I'd be reacting to all this. Up till this point, one day into its release, I have played through this toy box 5 times. You know, about 5.5. If you consider the latest time that I've played through it. I haven't finished yet. But yeah, this is beyond description, this toy box. It is an incredible experience, and the reason I'm being so mellow right now instead of being all excitable is because I don't want to be too loud and make my mic glitch out and be a bitch. And the other reason is because I want you guys, whoever you might be, because this is a new video, and who knows who might find this video in amongst the first Yooka-Laylee Toybox videos up on YouTube. But yeah, so I don't want anybody who comes here to, you know, to have their ears blown out, essentially. But this is it. This is the toy box. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it the most glorious thing you've ever seen? I mean, I honestly, when I backed the Kickstarter for this game last year, there's going to be a lot of talk, by the way, in this video about the Kickstarter and how it affected me, how I felt about it, that kind of thing. But when I backed this Kickstarter last year, I didn't like. See, the thing with Kickstarter, right, is when you back a project, they expect you to pay as soon as the project is over. And you can't really pay, per se, like up till that point, depending on the Kickstarter. It depends on how the Kickstarter is set up. And the way the Yooka-Laylee Kickstarter was set up is that it was pay later. So you didn't pay automatically. I don't think. I can't remember. If it was pay automatically, then, you know, it's same difference really in the end. Because what happened was I didn't have the money to back to the full amount I wanted, which was 180 quid, and I was slightly upset about that, because at the time I'd done a lot of other shit, you know, I didn't have any money left over, and I couldn't put the money into the Kickstarter, and the Kickstarter was ending, so I was like, shit, do I put my pledge down from 180 because I can't afford to pay the full 180 when they charge it, or do I, you know, do I keep the 180 and just, you know, try to find the £180 sooner than later? And what ended up happening was I ended up putting the pledge down, and then, well, I got lucky. They made a backer kit, which allowed some extra time for people to pledge more and get the better tiers, and that actually gave me the extra time I needed, so I was able to put my pledge all the way up. So I got £180 in total pledged to this game, and well, I mean, suffice to say, this toy box came out exactly how I expected it. Beautiful in every sense of the word. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I mean, look at it. The way it plays is like a proper platformer. It plays out exactly how you'd expect it as a 3D platformer. You've got your characters who have their special moves that you can use to get to various places, do various things. This game's Talon Trot, since oh god, that's another thing. People are referring to this game as Banjo-Kazooie, which it does take a lot from Banjo-Kazooie, obviously. So, you know, forgive me for comparing it to Banjo, but it really is like Banjo in a lot of ways. But the talent trot of this game is a move that I think I've already done in the video so far, but it's where Laylee sits on top of Yuka and rolls around like a ball. So that move is like the talent trot of this game. It's very quick, it gets you across the level very fast. And it's very unique, actually. I don't think I've seen that in a video game before. Not as a core mechanic, at least, anyway, a core ability. But yeah, so what is the purpose of this toy box? Fucking 6 minutes into the video. I should try not to swear in this video, at least, anyway. But the purpose of this toy box is essentially to allow you to play around with Yooka-Laylee's core mechanics. Basically, it's a testing arena. That's all it is. It's a big testing arena. You've got the character, you've got their moves, you've got the basic platforming mechanics that you'll find in the eventual game. So, you play around with it. And one of the core mechanics of Yooka-Laylee, but good news, users, I exterminated all of the NPCs in this simulation. Now you can roam free. So I don't know what that means, actually. I don't know if the I actually downloaded the Toy Box and the Toy Box Plus at the same time, so I'm not in. Biz saw like a cybernetic eagle. Users hold LT and press A. I'll be a little bit behind, or maybe ahead of that text, because the visuals are lagging for me. My computer is beyond saving at this point, but whatever. I know we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Yooka-Laylee. But anyway, so what was I saying? This game's core mechanics, or one of its core mechanics, is its right, yeah, the collectibles. Duh. Jesus Christ, I'm so stupid sometimes. So the main collectibles in Yooka-Laylee are the quills, which are what you collect in this toy box. So there's 100 quills, kind of like how there are 100 music notes in a level for Banjo-Kazooie, or Banjo-Tooie. So you basically collect the 100 quills and you get this game's Jiggy, which is a pagey. Sorry about my by the way, if they annoy anybody. I do say that a lot because, you know, I'm not very good at talking, essentially. Man, I'm looking back at this and I'm thinking, like, this is a beautiful game. I mean, obviously this isn't the finished game, and the screenshots we've seen are obviously the finished game, and they look beautiful, they look gorgeous. So mix that with the mechanics of how this toy box works, and you got a recipe for an amazing platformer that really works. And then you got the enemies roaming around and all the other collectibles that I think will be in the eventual game as well, because I don't think it will just be quills. I think there'll be other things to find as well, other things to pick up, life bar type items and stuff like that, you know, upgrades for special moves and stuff. I imagine there's going to be lots of cool special things that we get to see in this game, or in the eventual finished game at least anyway. So I'm really looking forward to it. I honestly am. It's going to be a blast. I'm going to absolutely have a fun time with this, at least with the finished game anyway. Yooka-Laylee obviously isn't going to be something I'm going to do straight away. There's a lot of problems even now that I'm dealing with when it comes to recording videos, and Yooka-Laylee is a game that I definitely, if I'm gonna, like, you know, if I'm gonna have to quit YouTube because of the crappy recording software that I've got, you know, on my crappy computer, then I at least want to get Yooka-Laylee done before I stop doing YouTube videos. Because I mean, I never wanted to be a popular YouTuber or anything. That wasn't really the purpose of making a YouTube channel. I made a YouTube channel because I wanted to do the video games that I had always wanted to Let's Play myself. I've been watching Let's Plays for so many years that I had amassed a list of games I'd love to do, and I'm not even halfway through that list yet. But if I can at least get Banjo-Tooie done, and then do Yooka-Laylee, I will be happy with that, and I will be content with stopping there. Also, I just transitioned there because I fell off, and it took me about like 2 minutes to climb back up, so that sucked. This is actually a really, really good tester level. It's a good testing, what do you call it? Well, I suppose testing arena is the best way I described it so far. It is a testing arena. But this is the greatest thing that I think they could have done, is give fans the ability to test their game. Because this game, this toy box gives you the ability to play around with the core mechanics of the game, as I've already said multiple times. But I have to emphasize on what I mean by core mechanics, because by core mechanics I mean the base things that you will use in the game, that you will see in the game, that you will be doing in the game. Platforming like this, you'll be doing it in the game. NPCs like the robot, you'll be talking to in game. The quills you'll be collecting in game. The chests you'll be finding in game. And coming up here, these enemies here that you get a little bit of a look at, a little bit of a feel for. Enemies you'll be seeing in game. These are all things you'll be seeing in the final game. And that's something amazing for us to be able to see before the final game comes out. It gives us a chance to see what the final game is going to look like and what it's going to feel like. And what other game developer will let you do that? I mean, there's game demos, but this is far more than a game demo. This is looking at the game in the most basic of senses. You know? I mean, like, this area here, right? This area here, this is basically, all of these platforms contain enemies. Well, one particular enemy in the game anyway. I assume there'll be more enemies in the final game. But this area contains enemies from the final game, or an enemy, in their different positions that they can be in, the different animations that they have. So, that's a scared animation. You can see there, he's shaking, he's shivering. This up here is a curse you animation. Curse you, Yooka-Laylee. This is a running away scared animation. He's frightened. This looks like a strafe of some sort, like an enemy that's sort of, you know, trying to strafe towards you, or something. But yeah, there you go. So those are all character animations for a particular enemy in the final game. And it's amazing that they're there, and that you get to have a look at them and whatnot. Like, this is a great thing to have, this toy box. It's a wonderful thing. And it's a shame that only backers get to play with it. But it's a good thing that it was a low tier item. It would have been really terrible if they'd made it a higher tier item, like you had to pay 40 quid for the toy box. You only had to pay £20 for the toy box. For Toy Box Plus, you had to pay 40. But all Toy Box Plus adds is that area that we just came from, and the slide that's to the left of me right now. But yeah, so there you go. You know, there's a first secret area, which is from Toy Box Plus, which contains all the enemies. And then, of course, there's more platforming, the water. I don't think I talked about the water earlier because I was too busy talking about basic stuff, but the water mechanics in this are... I don't even know how to describe it. They're sublime. You press A to go up and X to go down. So, essentially, X and A are on the Y platform, and your left stick is on the flat plane. So on the X platform, or not the X and Y, sorry. On basically, think of it as a cross, right? And you've got the up and you've got the across, right? And the X and Y are the up, right? Like you would expect X and Y to be. And then the left stick is an across, so forward, backwards on one plane. So literally, your diving is so precise. If you can get used to the controls, the diving is absolutely precise. And I was really surprised initially. I didn't understand the controls, and after playing around with it a little, I got used to it, and I figured out how it functioned. And it really blew my mind away. It was like, holy shit, these are some of the tightest swimming controls in a video game right here. It's so precise. You know, I just imagine that swimming around, you'll be able to really get a feel for how the water affects your character. And I imagine there'll be obstacles underwater as well. So there'll be obviously obstacles you'll have to avoid using those mechanics. There's a lot of things I hope for in Yooka-Laylee when it's done. And I don't want to talk about any of them because who knows what'll end up in the game and what won't. But I do want to mention that Yooka-Laylee will definitely feel like this toy box makes it feel. It's been said by Playtonic, also that's the death in the simulation. Playtonic made it very clear that this toy box would be a testing playground for the game's core mechanics. There I go saying it again. But again, that means this is what you'll be seeing in the final game. I mean, not the actual world that we're in here. This simulation it's a mixture of just grids and blocks, as well as a couple of assets from the final game. So like those brick arches I came past, and some of these bushes, like that one there to the right. You know, there's some assets from the final game in here, but essentially this is just a spoiler-free playground featuring the mechanics of the game that you'll be getting to use in the final game. So all of this will be in the final game, all this rolling around and jumping around while rolling and stuff. I love that, jumping around while rolling. Like, it's seriously amazing. This roll move is really... This is my only gripe, actually, with this game, is this roll move. This roll move is really, really difficult to get used to. There's actually there's a funny little save coming up right here. I managed to save myself. Yeah, I got the 50th quill right on the slide, so it paused my animation and stopped it. And now I'm like, oh shit, no, I don't want to have to come all the way up. So I'm trying to fly back on, you know. And then I'm like, oh shit, what if I go down here and then I just do it again? Yeah, there you go. See, you know, like, and then I managed to get myself back up. So I've played this game so many. I've played this like 4 or 5 times, and I know how to play. So, but yeah, you know, running around this world. There's some more assets, bushes. Yeah, it's nice. It's good stuff. But this looks like something out of the ordinary, if you know what I mean. Like, it was remarkable to find out in the beginning when the Kickstarter started last year that this game would have a toy box, because I never talked about it that much back during my Banjo-Kazooie Let's Play when I spoke about Yooka-Laylee the most. Out of any time during my channel's history so far, Banjo-Kazooie was the one time that I talked about this game constantly, and I haven't really talked about it much since then. I mean, at the end of Banjo, I think I spoke about it during the me and my brother spoke about it during the Christmas video when we did the custom Banjo-Kazooie level. But that was 7 or 8 months ago, so I haven't spoken about Yooka-Laylee in a long time. And I mean, everybody's been carefully watching its progress, waiting for an update. And we were all waiting for the toy box. That's essentially what we were all doing. And when the toy box was finally announced yesterday, everybody went ape shit. I had multiple friends of mine, YouTube friends, as well as Facebook gaming friends and other various gaming friends, who were posting, talking about, holy shit, it's out, I'm doing a video on it, I'm playing it, blah, blah, blah. And I watched a stream yesterday of someone I know called Blue, who... oh god, what's his full name? Blue Blazing something or other. I can't remember the full YouTube name. But he did a stream where he played through all of this in one go. It doesn't take long to beat. As you can see, this video is only like 40 minutes long. It's not that long. It doesn't take that long to beat 100%. Even when you don't know where everything is, it only takes about an hour. The first time I played it, it only took me an hour to find everything. So the hardest thing to find is the secret at the end, but I know where that is in this. So Does the breeze make you feel good, guys? Does it make you feel nice? Oh, man. Looking back at this makes me feel things that I never thought I'd feel about this game. Like for example, right? When I spoke of this game many times during the Banjo-Kazooie LP, I had a lot of ideas running through my head for what this game could be, how it would function, what it would play like. Because if you remember rightly, or well, you probably won't, because most of you watching this have probably not seen my Banjo-Kazooie LP. But I said, well, no, Yooka-Laylee wasn't finished. Well, it didn't even have a trailer. It had nothing back when I first started talking about it. Like when I put up the first part of Banjo-Kazooie last March, which was like a year and a half ago now. That was 3 weeks after the announcement. Literally, that was 3 weeks after the announcement of Playtonic coming back together. That was it. Only 3 weeks previous to that first episode's debut, you know, Playtonic had formed and come out in the open saying that they'd formed and they were working on a new game. And throughout the course of Banjo-Kazooie, they put up the Yooka-Laylee Kickstarter. It blew out many records in terms of Kickstarter projects. And it grew massively, and a massive community grew around it. And the Kickstarter ended during the LP. Playtonic updated a few times. I mean, so much happened during the time I did Banjo-Kazooie. It was a period of about 4 or 5 months, and during that time, they had come together, formed a company. They, you know, announced their new game they were going to be designing. They'd given out a few minor details about what the game would be. And by the time I finished Banjo-Kazooie, the initial game anyway, not the extra bonus content, you know, the extra like stop and swap stuff and whatnot that I did like months later. By the time I'd finished it, it was. Also, by the way, this is the special effects room. I should talk about this. This is the room with all the special effects in it. So obviously, again, you know, giving you the ability to see what all of the effects in the game are going to look like. So water, special sparkly effects and all that good stuff, flames. So, I mean, I didn't need to really talk about each one as I looked at them there. You got to see them. I gave them a good look. But they're all really cool. And it's nice, once again, that Playtonic made these little secret areas in this toy box so we could see what these things look like for ourselves. So we'd get an opportunity to see. But going back to the whole Playtonic... Well, actually, I don't really need to carry that on, actually. No, it's fine. I mean, what do you really say about something that you've been waiting for such a long time? I wanted Banjo 3 as much as the next person. I loved Banjo-Kazooie and I loved Banjo-Tooie. And it's only in the last, you know, 4 or 5 months that Banjo-Kazooie was beat for me as my favourite game by Wind Waker HD. I absolutely adore Wind Waker HD and I played through it 3 different times, 100%. And it is one of the most amazingly beautiful Zelda games out of the whole Zelda series for me. I love Ocarina, I love Majora's Mask, I love Twilight Princess, I love Skyward Sword, I love Minish Cap, and I love, oh, fuck me, I'm thinking Four Swords, but it's not Four Swords, hold on. God damn it. Get your games right, Robbie, Jesus Christ. But anyway, you know, I love a lot of the Zelda franchise, but Wind Waker just takes the cake for me. I love that game so much. Maybe it was something I was feeling at the time, but Wind Waker was the game for me. And even with that knowledge, I still think Banjo is a great game. I still think Banjo-Tooie is a great game. And I still think the fact that the same developers came together to make a new company and a new game series, or well, in particular this new game, is an absolutely amazing thing that people just don't do anymore. And I think that this game will be fantastic. I mean, if this toy box has shown us anything, it's shown us that they are clearly very fully aware of what people want, and they know what they're doing. to the full extent of the word. They know exactly what they're doing. Or the term, I should say, because that is a term. So it's nice to see that Playtonic actually know where they're going with this game. It's nice to know that they understand what people want from this game. And it's nice to know that they haven't lost their touch. That team of people has not lost their touch whatsoever. Also, that's the other area that's in Toybox Plus only, that giant slide, I believe. I haven't actually seen any videos of what it looks like on normal Toybox, but I believe it's just that slide that's not there. I think the area up above is there. This area, I think, is there, but the slide isn't. So, man, oh man, I really love this. I love everything about this toy box. It's been one of the most amazing experiences the last 24 hours to finally get to actually play this game. And while trying to record it has been a bit of a bitch, my computer can play it fine, weirdly enough. It can play it fine. My computer just can't play it and record at the same time for some reason without there being problems. So, unfortunately, I've still got to solve some problems in that regard. And there might still be some visual weird glitches in this video anyway. But, you know, other than that, this is Yooka-Laylee Toybox. And the more I look at this, the more it makes me want the finished game. Because this toy box, I've already just said like a minute or two ago, you know, this toy box says everything that you need to know about what Playtonic are doing with Yooka-Laylee. It says everything you need to know. The puns, the platforming, the collecting, the various different mechanics, everything about this says this is going to be an amazing 3D platformer. You know, and there have been some okay 3D platformers in the last 10 years, but nothing on the level of, you know, some of the best platformers of the 90s. And I feel like we really lack this type of content in the modern gaming industry, this type of what Yooka-Laylee is. You know, we're lacking in this content in this day and age, and I'm really, really happy, like super happy that Yooka-Laylee is going to be that next step in 3D platforming, and I hope that Playtonic will be super successful with this game. I hope it will be everything people want. I imagine it will. I don't imagine that it will fail. But, you know, I hope it's everything people want. I hope that this game gets all the praise that it really deserves. And I hope that Playtonic will hold true on their promise of turning this into a big series, a big saga of games. It would be amazing to see, you know, Playtonic actually be the new center of platforming in the gaming industry. I would love them to be the new Rare, because back in the 90s, Rareware was the center for platforming, for good games. Rareware knew what they were doing in all genres. And it would be nice to see Playtonic be that new company. It would be nice to see them be the new innovative company, you know, comprising of all of these veterans that know what people want, know what people expect, and know what to do to make a game fun and addictive. And I hope that, you know, people watching this are happy with what I've caught on camera here. I know plenty of people have already done videos, probably higher quality, but I wanted to do this for my channel because I wanted to have something for me personally. I wanted to be able to look back in the future and say, I remember that, man. I remember when I played that toy box for the first time and how it made me feel, you know. And I want to get real for a moment and actually talk about how it made me feel when I played this toy box for the first time. But I'll do that in a second. First, this room is the floor room. So there's different floors in here. So that's ice, I think. I don't know what that floor is supposed to be. This is water. Don't worry, I do a proper like pan over each of them in a minute. So this is wood. Yeah, so I'm doing like a proper go over all of them. This is metal, I believe. I believe this is some sort of flowers, perhaps. or carpet of some sort. And this next one is snow. Oh, I love that sound. I spend so much time in this snow here because I love it. This is grass. I probably could have done with turning down the music. I think this is ice because it's slippery, so... But anyway, so... let me talk about how this game made me feel. So... well, how this toy box made me feel, at least. I'll tell you right now. I've played a lot of 3D platformers over the years, and I've played a lot of different genres of games over the years. In the last several years, I've really played... well, actually, no, let's not say several years, because I'm only 20. Let's cut it down to about the last 3 years. In the last 3 years, I've been through a lot of shit. And through all of that shit, the thing that's kept me most comfortable is my games. So I've been really, in the last 3 years alone, you know, getting into every single game of every single genre. And it's been a real journey for me because, you know, over the years, I've never been really hardcore with gaming. You know, I've never really... put through fully on most games. You know, I just played them for fun, you know, casual. But the last 3 years have really seen a lot of change for me when it comes to playing games. I really go hard. You know, I go hard in the motherfucking games. But, you know, I really go hard, though. I do. It's really fun. I mean, I've played a lot of games recently that I've just straight up gone for 100% on, you know, without any regrets. Like Ocarina of Time, 100%. Wind Waker HD, 100%. I'm not going to say the name of that game, actually, because I'm going to be Let's Playing that soon, if I can manage it. But I've done that one 100% too, and now I'm going to be doing it 100% on Let's Play. But, you know, there's a lot of games. You know, Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie, obviously 100%. You know, I've done a lot of games 100%. I mean, I'm only saying the basic games there, but you know, that's how it is. But this has made me feel something I haven't felt since I first played Banjo, which was a feeling of wonder, a feeling of holy shit, this is amazing. This is a great feeling, you know. Because I mean, obviously Banjo-Kazooie, the first time I played it was like 2006. It was a long time ago, and I was, I mean, it was during a time when I had only ever really played games like, actually I don't really know what games. I'm going to stop here actually, because this is it. This is the 100th quills. Bzz. Well done, user. You collected quills, quota 100, a binary classic. Come find me to collect your pagey. So, once you've collected all 100 quills, you get... Pagey. Also known as this game's Jiggy. So yeah, I do a little bit of a close-up on the Pagey down here. I talked to this guy again thinking he's got something special to say, but you could have asked him this at the beginning of the game and he would have told you the same shit. It's just basic controls. So yeah. So that's the Pagey. That's what the pages in the game look like in the final game. Look how shiny it is. Oh, it's beautiful. I love it. It's got a smiley face and googly eyes too. I love it. Proper rareware. I love it, man. This game is absolutely gorgeous, and I love Yooka and Laylee's relationship too. They're like, I don't know, man. Like, you wouldn't think it, would you? A chameleon and a bat, but like they have such a weird friendship. It's so cool. So that's the Pagey. Greetings, users! I have a secret for you. Yeah, so secret button. So I actually, I transition here to show where the button is. So we're going to transition here in a second. Yeah, so basically this is where the button actually is. It's sort of at the back of this podium thing and underneath, and there's like a hole in the top. Which you go inside. So there's obviously you can go in here before you get the last pagey or get the pagey, but there's no button here. And then when you hit that button, it points the way and it makes a sound as well. I wonder what that did. So if you follow the arrow and you actually transition again here, I believe. I think I transition again here. Yeah. So if you come around the front of this now, there's a big hole, and you go down, and there's a skull and crossbones. Of course, there'd be a skull and crossbones. What else would there be? So this is the last secret in the toy box. So we talk. Well, it's a little bit of a weird secret area. So you talk to the guy, and he says, "Greetings, users." Of course. What else would he say? "I have a secret for you." Yes, we're quite aware. When Real World Game releases, look to a pirate ship for a surprise. Bzz. Ground smash lone rock under a nearby tree to reveal the way. So this is a secret for the final game. Remember this to find the surprise. So that's a secret for the final game, and that's the final secret in the toy box. So that's everything. That's everything collected, everything found, all the secret areas discovered. So final thoughts on the toy box. This is everything I wanted it to be. Everything, absolutely everything. I love the characters. I love the wit, even from this one character that you get in this simulation. He has all the wit that you expect to find in every character in the eventual game. All the wit you expect from the Rareware team. Also, that's cute. I transition here, I believe. No, I don't transition. So yeah, I think this game is absolutely gorgeous, and I think even though it's only the toy box, I mean, it's gorgeous. And I think the reason I believe that is because we've seen the gameplay from, you know, the testing. We've seen the gameplay footage that they put out, and well, this is only grids, you know, because they don't want any spoilers, but it's going to look just like it does in the game, in the trailer they released, and it's going to play out exactly like you can play it in this toy box. And because I now have that experience etched into my mind, I can now be prepared for when the eventual game comes out. So this toy box is everything. It's everything. It's amazing. It's got everything you'd expect, everything you want, everything you need. I will play this toy box over and over and over again until the eventual game comes out. I guarantee it. I'm not going to stop playing this. So yeah, that's it. This toy box is a 10 out of 10, and I love it. I ain't got many criticisms with it. The only criticism I've got for it is the ball move, which still I think needs a bit of tinkering. To be fair, it's a bit too uncontrollable for the type finicky platforming you've got to do with it. You know, like for type finicky platforms, it really isn't that useful. You know, it needs to be more refined. But other than that, that's the only complaint. And if that's the only complaint that I've got, then there you go. So yeah, that's about it for the toy box. I look forward to the final game coming out. I really do, and perhaps we'll figure it out, hey? So that's the menu. Very Banjo-Kazooie-esque. Thank you for watching this video, if you did, and I will see you in whatever I make next. And we'll see Yooka-Laylee again when it comes out. So yeah, bye everyone. See you later. You know, it just occurred to me that this actually has one of the most beautiful views I've seen in a video game, even though it's all blocks and grids.